and welcome to C# tutorial of billing system developed using MySQL database. So let me show you guys how this works. I'm going to clear every system, and supposing you want maybe 3 pints of milk or 3 cartons of milk, and maybe coffee, latte, and so on. All you just need to do is to click on total. You can check that out on the receipt here, and let's check out the database as well. There we go, look at that. Alright, there, and you can even print it out. Just hit the print button, and if you want, you can also sum up everything yourself in here and so on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C# development environment, and we put one of these very advanced tutorials together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi and welcome to C# tutorial of a billing system using MySQL. I'm going to start by clicking on create new project, and we then select C# Windows Forms Application.NET. Let's click on next. And right here I'm going to give the project name. Let's call it CS underscore billing system underscore MySQL. There we go. So I'm going to click on create. There we go, guys. My development environment is ready. Now I'm going to select the properties, and right in here let's define the size. So I'm going to make that 1386 by, let's go for 720. There we go. Now the next thing is, let's go straight to the toolbox here, and we just need to add a panel. Let's see if we can get hold of one. Should be here somewhere, right there. Okay, let's go to the properties here, and this panel, I'm going to select border style. Let's just change that to fixed 3D. There we go. You guys might not be able to see what's happening that much. Okay, let's drag it right down. There we go, something like that. Now the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to come right into the toolbox again. I now need a tab control. Let's see if we can get hold of that. There we go. That's it right there. Tab control. So drag the tab control, just peg it right there, and drag it right down. Repeat exactly the same thing. Alright, looking good. Okay, now the next thing is, each tab I'm going to give them a name. Let's go straight to the properties here, and that is the tab page, and the very first one, that will be for the, let's say, item, something like that. So let's look for the name. That is the variable name. I just need the text name. There we go. That's it right there. So I'm just going to call that items. And here the next one, that would be for my data. Okay, so let's call that bills, or data bills. There we go. That's good enough. Now the next thing we want to do is, I think I should change the background of this. So instead of transparent, I'm going to kind of like change it to, let's go for control. That's the default color. And the border style, yeah, make that fixed 3D as well. So that's the first one, there's the second one. Repeat the same thing for the second one. Let's see the second one. Change that to control. And border style fixed 3D as well. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now the next thing I want to do is inside the items here, I'm going to add another panel. This panel just repeat exactly the same thing. Border style fixed 3D. And right inside this very panel, I'm going to add number up and down. I think that's what it's called. There we go. It's called numeric up and down. It's been a long time that I play around with something like this. So I'm going to change the fonts. Let's make that about, just do something readable. Let's make it about 20. There we go, 20. And in there, I'm also going to need some labels. Bring this here, grab a label. And this label, let's change that to 20 as well. There. Okay, looking good so far. Okay, I'm going to just copy this across, and I'm going to need maybe about 6. Yeah, we have 4 now, and we have another 2 more. There we go, that's it. That's fine. Maybe I should copy this again. Copy. I will need that right here, but I wouldn't need this. I will not need this one. Get rid of that. I think I'm going to add a calculator so that the end user can just check the price at their own convenience. Alright, bring this one here. Looking good so far. This form itself, I'm going to select the form I want to change the position, start position. Click on that. Instead of the default, let's get it centered. So if I click on run, let's see how that's going to look like. There. So far it's looking good. Alright. End that. The next thing that we want to do now is each of these labels, let's give them a name. So maybe this very first one, I'm going to call that maybe milk, something like that. Yeah. And maybe coffee here. We can always change it around. And its next one here, I'm just going to call that maybe espresso, and we can just call this latte, something like that. And the other two, we can just call this maybe bread or something. That's a bread. And in here, wow, let's go for beans or whatever. That's it, all done. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do now is I'm going to change this. Maybe I can delete all of these. You see this very label here. I'm going to change the appearance of that very label. Let's come to auto size here and change that to false. The back color, I'm going to change it to white. Select control, custom white, and where we have border style, I'm going to change the border style to fixed 3D, and it will actually look like a text box. There we go. And let's also get it center, align center, and get rid of any whatever we have in there. Or let's just say give it a default value of 0. There. Now I'm going to copy it across, and at the same time they will have a name. Okay, copy. We have 2, 4, and 6 there. Alright, looking good. So let's run it and see how that's going to look like. That's how it's looking right now, guys, though we're still on it. So let's continue. See here. Okay, so exit out. Okay, I'm going to add something like a title here. So that's going to be just items. Let's come down here. Let's say items. And here, let's copy. Hold on to your control, just click and drag. And here I'm just going to call that maybe number of items, something like that. Number of items. Okay, that will do. Alright, so let's kind of like center it there. And here I'm going to delete all of these. I don't think I have any need for that. Now I'm going to enter a text box. I can also use label, but I would settle for a text box. And buttons. Let's grab a button first. Let's bang a button here. And right here I can see a text box. Grab that and draw that here. That is going to be for my display. Right, move this up a little bit, something like that. For both components, I'm going to kind of like increase the font size. Let's make it about 20 as well. There we go. Right, and let's do one thing first. Let's come in here. You see this one? I'm just going to kind of like align the whole component there. Let's get it centered. Yep, centered. What else do I need to do? Right, let's give them a name even. This one is going to be called number NUD milk. Right, NUD milk. Let's make this lowercase. NUD milk. And here that's going to be price anyway, so we can call that LBL milk. There, this is NUD coffee. And this other one here is going to be LBL coffee. We have NUD espresso. There. And we have LBL espresso. So I guess you guys get the whole idea. So just name it according to the labels. And for this very label, that latte should be uppercase L. Alright, I'll do that again. And now I'm just going to speed that up. That'll be NUD latte. NUD latte. Okay, let's select these two headings. I'm just going to increase the font size a little bit so that it can stand out, and let's get it underlined as well. Alright, that's cool. Now let's take care of this calculator thing here, and this is going to be my display, so we can call that txt display. So that's the variable name for the display. And I'm also going to kind of like select this small rectangle that you guys are looking at here and just make it multi-line. Then I'm in the position to just adjust how I want. Now for the buttons, click and drag, hold on to the control, just click and drag. So we have about, okay, let's make it 4 by 4 on each side. Yeah, that is fine, but I'm gonna need, let's increase the button size. Let's come in and see. That's okay. Maybe I should settle for maybe 80 by 80 and let's see how that's gonna look like. Then we take it from there. There we go. Alright, so the spacing can be a little bit even. Alright, I'll take care of that. Okay, so let's add more buttons there. I'm going to need about 20 in total. So we need 4 more down here and another 4. Now we need 1 more. Okay, select this panel and just bring it down. There we go. Right there. Okay, that's good. Now here underneath here I'm just going to add another panel. Let's grab it right there. There. And I'm also going to, let's see, where is that border style, make that fixed 3D as well. Looking good so far. Okay, maybe drag it down a little bit. And I'm going to add some buttons in there, and maybe some buttons and text box. Yeah, so that would be for text box and buttons. There. Alright. Okay, let's add some buttons here. So I'm going to copy these, hold on to the control, just click and drag and reduce that. There we go. And just kind of like move it this way. Take it up a little bit. I may have to even add a bit of color to this form, or maybe to this very, yeah, panel 1. Let's come down here and just see something to make it a little bit darker. Okay, so I can see it properly. Alright, so grab this variable button. I'm gonna need about maybe 4 or 5. I would need 1, 2, 3, maybe about 5. Okay, we have 2 here. Alright, we have 4, and we're gonna need 1 more, so I may have to reduce the width. Okay, this one is going to be known as btn exit. This is going to be btn, let's say reset, bt. Okay, let's change the data on it as well. There, and the data on this is going to be exit. Then this is going to be print. Yeah, there's no printer on my system, but at least I'll show you guys how to just create your own print. There we go. And we need 2 more. Put this one here. I'm going to reduce this and just kind of like sort it out later on. Okay, this one will be btn reset. Okay, I think I might have to, because I received a message from one of my viewers would like one in C++, another one is saying in Visual Basic. Hopefully I might be able to do that as time goes on. That's total, and this is going to be known as btn total. btn total. There we go. Now you see all of those buttons. Let's see. Okay, that is the width. Maybe if I set all of the width 140, that might work better. So let's come in here and change this to 140. Okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing for all and get back to you guys shortly. Okay, that's looking good. And what I'm going to do underneath here, I'm going to add two labels. One is going to be here and the other one is going to be here. So this is going to be for the total number of item that is selected. Put that here. And the next one is going to be for the cost of item. Alright, looking good so far. So get rid of that. Oh, I can leave that, and I'm just going to call that LBL cost. Okay, that's cool. And here that will be maybe total cost. Come right down here, total cost, and bring this down here. That would be number of items, so get rid of that, and that will be LBL number of items, and this is going to be number of items. There we go. No, that's wrong. I was meant to type that underneath here. Okay, we can just grab this anyway and just copy and paste it in there. Oh, look at it. Number of items. Grab that and just paste that in there. Alright, that takes care of that. There we go. I'll reduce this as well. Yeah. Okay, let's run it and see how that looks like. Okay, it's coming up. It's looking pretty. Look at that, guys. And let's take care of the design of this calculator. Then we know the design is all done. So here, now let's start with this, and that is going to be 7. Just once one is selected, the rest you can just click and just enter value. 8, 9. That will be plus, subtract, 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 0, and we have a full stop here, and this will be equals. This we can call that division, multiplication. This was meant to be 6 and this is meant to be 5, and here that's going to be CE, and this is C. This will be backspace. So let me copy backspace in here. So go to Word, select Insert, inside Insert, now select Symbol and select More Symbol. What you need is winging. So drop that down and let's just grab hold of it. That is it right there. Select backspace, and I'm going to copy plus minus as well. Close that. I'm going to copy the backspace, paste that in here, Now you have to change the fonts to Wingins and W Wingins. There we go. And the next one is backspace, and that'll be all. I don't have any need for this document anymore. Don't save and go back in here, select that and come right underneath here, paste, and that's plus minus. That's fine. All done. Now we need to give each button a name. So the name of this one is going to be BTN backspace. I'm just going to call it BS, and this is BTN CE, and the next one is going to be BTNC, followed by BTN plus minus, so PM BTN7. So I guess you guys get the whole idea. So I'm going to speed up the naming of each buttons. That's BTN8. So see you guys shortly. And that's it. All the namings are taken care of. Now finally let's go into the data bill. See here, I'm going to add DataGrigView. Let's see, there we go. That's it. Let's click and drag. So when you click on the receipt, you find your DataGrigView, all the information here, and the receipt will be somewhere here. Maybe we should add the receipt as well. Come in here, let's add what is that called, rich text box. Okay, grab that and just dump it right there. So this will show you all the information about the purchase will be in here. So, and in here will be the just something to store every single data we have in there. That's fine. Alright, that's good. And bring this down. This will be for the receipt. An itemized bill, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so let's go back in there. I'm going to run it now. Let's go to item, or items is called. Click on run. And it's coming up. There we go. Look at that. That looks pretty. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so this is the data bill, and or maybe item bills. Yeah, item bills. Yeah, we're gonna call or whatever. That's fine anyway. I'm gonna exit out. And the next thing that I'll do now is let's take care of this calculator first. I'm going to maybe double click on any of, or let's double click on the form, and right underneath where we have the public patch class, from one I'm going to declare the following variables. So let's say double. So I'm using double data type for the calculator, so I'm going to say first number, comma, second number, and underneath I'm going to declare a string variable for the operator. There we go. And I'm also going to create an array. So the array will hold onto the items that I have in here. The array is going to be double, and that's how you create your array. Okay, you enter square bracket. So I'm just going to call the array items. That's the name of the array. Equals new, and the amounts that will be inside the double data type, that is going to be 7. Enter semicolon right there. There, that's another variable taken care of. Now underneath, take note of this. The next thing is I want to specify the price for each item. So I'm going to come in here again. Let's say double, and the very first item, I think I do have bread in there, so let's assume the cost of a loaf of bread is going to be about £1.55. And the next one that I do have in there, I think I have coffee and espresso, things like that. So let's change this one to coffee. I think I also have milk. I have latte. I think I have espresso. Then what is the next one? Let's check that out. Let's see. Oh, beans. Okay. Alright. Enter beans in here. There. And now let's fix the course. For coffee, we can make that about maybe, yeah, that's fine. There, and for the milk, I think milk might be a little bit cheaper, I don't know. Latte, the cost for latte, I have no idea. Espresso, no idea neither. So let's just give it any price. And the beans, I don't even have a clue. Okay, here we go. Those are my variables taken care of. So have a good look at them, or take a good look at the variables that I intend to use. For now, we'll be coming back here to enter the variables for my for the MySQL database. Okay, so we'll be coming back here. So let's take it step by step. Now let's go into the calculator here. Now the very first thing I want to do is I'm going to select the number keys, including the dot or the decimal place, and let's select event. Now I'm going to use click, event click, so I'm going to call that number click and press enter. Oh, let's see, it's an error there. Cancel that, and let's go back in there. Oh, let's see, number click. All right, that is fine. There. Now that we are in the procedural area for the number click event, first of all, I'm going to create an object button, and this button I'm going to call it B. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm going to say B equals button, and this object that is button, I want it to be a sender. There we go. Then let's use an if statement, but before then let me do one thing. You see the text box here? I'm going to enter a value in there. Come down here and just enter a default value of 0 in there. There. And I would also like it to be aligned right. Okay, all done. And let's go back to my code in here. So this procedural area is just for all the buttons, including the decimal point. So I'm going to start by using an if statement. If, open a bracket, txt display dot text equals the value of 0. Remember, I enter 0. Then open up a curly braces. Inside our curly braces, you now want the system to clear whatever we have inside the text box. There we go. Clear it. Now we're going to use another if statement. Come right down here, and we're going to now say if b.text, remember B is representing each of those buttons, equals the decimal point, then this is what I want the system to do. Enter curly braces for that. We now want the system to now do as follows. So in that case, if again the txt display itself, txt display dot text dot contains decimal. In that case, I want the following to happen. Let's just say txt display dot text, that will be equals txt display dot text plus whatever we have in B. Enter semicolon for that. So we've just taken care of B, or the decimal place. Now right underneath here, we're now going to use an else statement so that we can take care of the other numeric value. I'm going to say else. I want this to grab whatever value that is in there. There we go. Okay guys, let's have a quick look at this. That shouldn't be there. And here, if no, that's wrong. That should be if not display the text that contains. Okay, that is fine. Okay, I'm going to try it out now. I don't have to include these curly braces here, but let's see. Let's run it and see. It's coming up now. There we go. And let's try it out. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if that works again. No, it's not working, so that is fine. Alright, that's cool. It's working the way we want. Okay, now exit out. Now the next thing I'm going to take care of, let's take care of the operators. I'm going to select all of the operators, go to the properties, and right here inside the event as well. Okay, that is the event. Okay, now I'm going to come in here to where we have click. I'm just going to call that click operator or operator or up click operator click. There we go, right there. And I'm also going to just create that, just dump that in here. Let's create an object, and this very object we store whatever value we have inside the whatever operator value we have in on any of the buttons. So well, first of all, I'm going to start by declaring as follows: first number, whatever we have inside first number equals, let's say, double dot parse, and what are we passing in there? Whatever we have inside txt dot display text, txt dot text, I mean, there, and that. Now the variable operator or opera, like I call it, that will be equals whatever b is, b dot text there, and let's clear whatever we have in here. So we just say txt display equals clear there, or you can just say txt display dot clear dot clear. I think we have to enter parentheses in there. There we go. So that takes care of the arithmetic operators. Alright, so that's good. Now let's take care of maybe the backspace. Come in here. Where's the backspace? There we go. Double click on the backspace. So with the backspace, let's use an if statement to check whatever we have inside the text box. So I'm going to grab hold of this and come right down here. That is the backspace. If txt display dot text dot length, if it's greater than 0, then txt display dot text equals txt display. Grab this, paste that in there, equals txt display dot remove. Do that again, dot remove. And what is it removing? It's removing whatever we have inside the length -1. So I'm going to grab hold of this, paste that in here, and that will be -1, comma 1. So the very first one there. That's what that means. Let's move this so that you guys can see that. Alright, that's taken care of. Now the next thing we want to do is, however, you see, it will take care of it. It will delete the values that we have on the text box. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's run it and see. So if we enter whatever value in there, we can just use the backspace to get rid of it. But now we hit the last value. So what I want you to do is to default back to 0 for me. So if there's nothing in there, so using another if statement, I'm going to say if there's nothing in there, I want it to just go back to 0. So let's grab all of this. I think that will do it. Paste that in there. If this one has nothing, if it's equals nothing, and I want this to default back to 0, so everything in here, get rid of that and just enter 0 in there. I think that should take care of that. Okay, so that should take care of that. So let's try that out again. Click on run. There we go. Now select whatever value and just backspace. There we go. Look at that. That's fine. Alright, so end that. Okay, so that's taken care of. Now let's take care of, maybe we should take care of clear. So double click on that. So with the clear entering, I'm going to first of all and say use as follows. Let's say clear entering, okay, the text box equals 0. Now let's do one thing. Let's create string, and this string will be F and S. The F is for first value, the second one is for second value. So let's say F equals whatever we have inside. No, that should be convert dot to string whatever we have inside first number. So let's call our first number. There we go. And we're going to repeat the same thing for second number. So I'm going to grab all of this, paste that underneath here. That will be for second number, so change this to S and second num. Close that. Okay, so whatever we have inside first number or second number is stored into these two string variable. So what I then want it to do is delete whichever one. So let's say first equals clear, and repeat the same thing for the second one equals clear as well. So whatever value you have in there will be deleted. So that should take care of clear entry. Okay, the very first value is deleted and so on. Okay, now let's delete. Let's just take care of just clear, this very one here. Double click on that. Once it's clear, there, that's taken care of. Now we want to take care of plus minus. Double click on the plus minus, and right in here, first of all, I'm going to declare a variable. I'll call that variable, let's say, is known as P. P equals let's convert whatever we have in the text box itself. Dot, convert to double, and what are we going to have in there? We have text box txt display. Now txt display is going to be equals convert whatever we have inside p dot convert to string, and we add -1 multiplied by p, and that takes care of the plus minus. So what's going to happen is you're going to end up owing someone. So let's save that and run that and see how that's going to work. It's coming up there. So let's say we have plus minus, look at that, multiply by whatever. So we now need these to work. So all of these are working now. Okay, they are all working fine. Right. Okay, so let's close that. Now we now need to take care of the equals, and that will be all with the calculator. Double click on equals, and with the equals I'm going to use switch statement. But before I do that, let's come in here and say let's enter the second non-variable. I want it to take in whatever value we have inside the text box. So let's say double dot parse whatever we have inside txt display.text, enter semicolon. Now the switch statement, let's say switch, and what are we switching to? We're switching to the operator that was declared right up there. If you guys can still recall the operator, that is it, the string operator. And I'm now going to enter curly braces. Now saying case. So what is the case going to be? The very first one is going to be the plus sign. If the operator we're talking of is a plus sign, then we want txt display, come right down here, txt display, we now want it to take in whatever value we have in there. So we're going to say equals first number plus second number. Now let's close that with, and say dot convert to string, enter semicolon. So we need to actually enter parentheses in there, and underneath here let's take care of these errors that's irritating. So I'm going to just say default, that will be equals, let's say break. There we go. And we also enter break here. So let's come in here, just paste that, and that error should go now. There. Okay. Now let's take care of the others. So I'm going to copy that, paste, and paste. So this is going to be subtraction, and here will be subtract, multiplication, and that will be multiplication sign, division, correct that error, and that will be division as well. There we go. I think that's all there is to that. Yep, that is it. So that is my equals taken care of. So have a good look at it. Okay, operator, switch operator. If operator selected is plus, carry out this. If if it's minus this, division this, and this. Right, all done. So I'm going to save and let's run. Okay, check it out. So 9, let's say 93 multiplied by 5. There we go. There. 45.2 plus 9 multiplied by 7. There we go. Plus minus. Multiply that by 2. You're owing 700 plus. Get rid of that. No, that should have. No. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Only the last value get deleted. Alright. Clear. So I think the calculator is all taken care of now. So check out the codes, guys. That's the plus, and this is for the plus minus, the clear entry, and this is for the backspace. And in here we have operators, and here we have all the numeric button and the decimal button. So run that one more time. And there we go. Multiply that by 5, clears the last entry, multiply by 2, that should give you 50 plus. That is good. Okay, calculator all taken care of. So what I want to do now is I'm going to double click on the number up and down here, this numeric value up and down, and this very first one, I think the variable for that is milk. So first of all, we create a variable in there. Let's say the data type is going to be double, and this variable I'm going to call it I. I stands for items, so I'm going to say I equals, let's convert dot to double, that is going to be whatever we have inside, and this is milk, so let's grab milk in here, dot value. So whatever we have in there, we store it inside I. Now let's say LDL milk, there we go, dot text, that is now going to take in whatever we have inside I, but we have to convert, okay, string dot format, because we want to use pound sign in there. So let's open a bracket, and in here we'll enter speech mark and coil braces, and in there I'm going to say 0, 2 decimal place C2, and we say comma I multiply that by milk. There we go. So that is the very first one taken care of. So if I run this now, let's run it and just see how that's going to work. And click on, yeah, look at that. See, just show us the price and the amount. Okay, that's good. That is fine. Alright, let's just exit out. Okay, close that. And I'm going to now copy that. Go to the next one. The next one is coffee. Double click on coffee. Paste that in there, and we change this to coffee. Copy and just paste it right in here. There we go. That's coffee taken care of. This is going to be coffee as well. And there. And we also need to change these to the milk. We need to change that to coffee. There we go. Right, that is fine. So let's take care of the next one, the Espresso. Double click on the Espresso, paste that in there again, and just change the name around. So that will be Espresso in here, and here will be Espresso, I think in lowercase, and here Espresso. Right, now let's take care of the others. Now double click on Latte, paste, changes to Latte. There we go. And these as well. And this will be Latte. Right. Just 2 more to go. Bread. Paste that in there. Change that to bread. And this become bread as well. It's lowercase. And this is bread. And I think we need to take care of the last one now. That is beans. Paste that in there and change the data in here to beans. And this is beans as well. Okay, I think it's all done now. So I'm going to save that and let's run it. Alright, so enter how many of those you want. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. And when we click on the total, we expect the total in here, here, and here as well. Okay, that's looking good. So I'm going to exit out. Okay, let's take care of the total. So I'm going to come in here. You see total there? I'm going to double click on total right here. And if you guys can still recall, I created an array here. This very array, I'm going to be using that. So I'm also going to create another one for the cost anyway, so I can just, let's go back in here, double click on total again, and in here I'm going to create one that will be for the cost. So let's say cost and this there. Now let's start with the first array, that is item. So we can just say item, I think it's called items. Item array always start from 0, remember that. So I'm going to say equals convert dot to double whatever we have inside in the, what was the first one was, what is it called? Milk. Okay, milk. That will be dot value. There, so our very first one is stored in here. So I'm going to copy this. There. And the next one is coffee followed by, so this will be coffee. And this will be espresso. Yeah. And we have latte, we have bread and beans. There. So all those are stored in here. Yeah, all of those are stored in there. And the array always start from 0, so this is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now number 6 array, that we add up all of the value that we have in here, paste that in there. This will be 6, and 6 will be equals all of the value that we have in here, so plus plus and plus. There we go. Enter semicolon there. So this will be 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. There. That is it, all added and stored in here. We now want our LBL, number of items dot text, that will be equals, convert whatever we have in there to string, dot to string, and what I will convert into string, that will be items 6. There we go. So that will give us the amount of how many, whatever we have inside, the number ups and down. Okay, that is fine, that's taken care of. Now the next one is, we now want to take care of the cost. In the case of the cost, so in the case of the cost, we're going to now multiply the item. So let's say first item in here is going to be cost. Cost 0 equals item, multiply that by the very first item, that is milk. There. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for the rest. So the other ones is going to be as follows. So let's grab this, or we can just grab this. There we have 6 in there. So the next one is going to be coffee. There we go. And this will be 1. And here, that will be 1 as well. We have 2 here and 2 here. And this is going to be espresso. Why this will be latte. There. Okay, latte is done as well. And this one will become 3. And 3 here. 4 here. 4 and 4. 4. This will be 5. Right. And we then have bread. And finally, this will be beans. There we go, all done. Now, we now need to add up the cost. So that will go into array cost 6. That will be equals plus another one, and that'll be all. There, and this will become 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the 5 items. So we now need LBL, that will be cost dot text equals, convert that to string character as well, and paste that in there. What we just want to paste in there is going to be cost number 6 there, and that should take care of the calculation. Although it's not finished yet, we still have to create the database and so on. So let's run it to just see how that looks like. There we go. We have 2, we have maybe another, let's say 3, 1 here. Of those, and click on total. There we go. Look at that. Okay, that's fine, but this one should give us pound sign. Okay, I left that out. Let's change that to string. Now I'm just going to copy this and get it sorted. Yeah, grab that. Grab all of these here. Bring that down, and here, get rid of all of this. Paste that in here, and there should be a comma here. Yeah. Just get rid of this. That will be it. Yeah, that is it. So let's run it again and see. It's total, bring it down. There we go. Run. And let's see how that's going to look like. Okay, there we go. Look at that. That's working fine now. Alright, all of those are taken care of, which is good. Now let's take care of some other easy ones. So let's take care of these, maybe those 3 together, and come down here, make sure it's saved. Double click on exit. There. Okay, with the exit, I'm going to first of all, let's say, declare the following: dialog results I exit, and I'm going to say I exit equals message box dot show, and what we want to show in this, I'm just going to say confirm if you want to exit. Okay, that's my very first argument. The second one is going to be, let's say, billing system. Billing system. The next argument, I'm going to call that message box buttons. That will be dot yes or no. And that is the third one. The fourth argument is going to be message box icon. So let's use question mark in there. And we use an if statement to validate the selection made if I exit equals dialog results dot yes. So if it's yes, we want the following. So let's close the bracket and enter that. In that case, application dot exit. There we go. That should take care of the exit. Right. So far it's looking good. But one other thing that we could have done is maybe I should even implement try cache in case of if there's any error. Though there shouldn't be any error in here. Let's say try and end it here, and let's put a cache underneath so I can just copy that across if I need it. So let's say exception, that will be EX there, and let's just use message box buttons and ask that to show the system error handler, and that's going to be message there. That should take care of that. So if there's any error, that would sort that out for me. Alright, so I'm going to copy that. You can use it for the other ones, especially in here, right here. Yeah, let's use try here as well. I'll bring that down here. And paste that. So we have try cache to take care of whatever error that I might run into in there. Okay, so that's fine. Now run. Let's see exit, how that works. Click on exit. No, I don't want to exit. Yes, I do. There we go. Save that. So exit is working fine. Now let's take care of this reset. Double click on reset. With the reset, I'm going to use a try cache again, just in case, and underneath here paste the cache. All I just want to reset is for it to clear every single component that I have in here. So this one is NU, the milk. So double click on that, paste dot value equals, and the default value is 0. We can just enter 0 in there. That should be, I think it will recognize that. There we go. So the next one, NU D, paste NUD coffee, paste the up, NUD, we have espresso, NUD milk, paste. Now one more, NUD, there's bread in there somewhere. There, all done. Okay, we also need to reset the label. So let's say LBL beans dot text equals, I think there's a default value of 0 in there. Let's check that out. Yeah, it does. Okay, it's pound sign. Alright, let's change that to pound sign. There we go. That's one taken care of. Let's take care of the others. LBL bread, LBL coffee, paste. LBL, I think does cost have one of those, I don't know. LBL, I'm going to check that out. Espresso, LBL latte, LBL milk. Now let's check how the cost. Yes, cost does have that. What about this? LBL number of items, paste, but in this case no pound sign. There we go. Alright, run, and let's check out how that works. and let's grab whatever total reset. Oh, latte is missing. Okay, let's go back in there and reset latte. That is latte. Here it's missing here. Okay. And that is latte there. And paste. So latte is fine now. Okay, let's try that out again. I'm going to enter value in O. There we go. Reset. There. That's fine. Okay, that's looking good. That is looking good. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to now let's try to attach a database. So I'm going to stop this system for now and let's come in straight into the text, into the toolbox here. Now select NumGet and I'm going to select the manage NuGet package for solution. Just click on that, waiting for it to respond. I'm going to click on browse. And inside the browse, what I want to look for will be the MySQL. There we go. Let's grab that. And I think I'm going to search for this. We have about 31.5 million downloading. Yes, so click on that. I think that's good enough. Now, once you click on that, this small dialog here pops up. What you then need to do is select the project, and that will also highlight the name of your own project. And let's click on install. There we go. Now I am installing the MySQL data straight into my system. There we go. Now click on OK. There. And you also have to accept. I think this got to do with the license agreement. Click on that, and the next thing you want to do is once you click on I accept, now let's see, it's now installing everything onto my system. Look here, it's now saying successfully installed. Alright, that is fine. So I can now get out of this NuGet. I don't need that anymore. I can't even close it. There we go, back into my own system here. Alright, the next thing I want to do now is to let's go into where I declare all of my variable. I'm now going to add as follows. I want to create some connectivity to link up my SQL. So let's start by using MySQL. There we go. That's it right there, because it's already connected. Dot data and dot MySQL client, enter, semicolon. That is taken care of. And right underneath here, right underneath the public partial class from 1, I am going to now connect or take care of my connectors in here. So let's start by saying MySQL connection, MySQL connection. There we go. And I'll just give that SQL con. That's what I'm going to call it, equals new connection. There. So the first one is created. I'll also create one for MySQL command. MySQL command. And I'm going to just call that MySQL cmd, that will equals new MySQL command as well. Look that up with semicolon. There should be parentheses in there actually. There we go. Now, what about the data set? So let's say data table. Now I'm going to call the data table SQL DT. That is going to be equals new data table. Parentheses there. Okay, I will need one for my string character that I intend to use. SQL query. There we go. What else do I need? MySQL adapter. Let's say SQL data adapter. I'll just call that DTA. That is equals new data adapter. And I also need one for my reader. So let's say, come down here, MySQL data reader. There we go. Now just call that SQL RD. Okay. Now I'm going to add data set in here. Data set. Just call that DS equals new data set. Parentheses. All taken care of. Now I have all my connectors in place. Now what I then need is, let's say string, let's correct that, string, and let's say my server is going to be, my server is local server anyway. There we go. That's one. And the other one is going to be for the username. Let's say username. That is going to be, that is root. And we have the username as root, then the password. Password. The password that I'm going to use, I will just make that 1 2 3 4 5 6. There, that's my password. And about the database, I haven't created the database yet, but I'm going to just call that my database. Let's just make up a name for that. I can just call it I think it's going to be billing. I'll call it B system or billing system, all in lowercase. Alright. Or bill system. Okay. Bill system. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. All taken care of now. So let's save that. Okay, before I continue, I'm going to create a function. And this very function, I'm going to put that right underneath here. Let's come right down here. So I'm going to say private void load load data, parentheses, there we go. Right, so my SQL connector that is going to be reading the following data for me. So let's say SQL connect dot connection string, and this connection string is going to be equals the server that I have in here, this one. Server plus server will be equal server there. Then I'm going to enter a plus in here and enter a comma plus user ID, and the user ID is going to be equals this. So grab the user ID, paste that there, and we just say plus that. So that is user ID taken care of. We also need a password and so on. So I'm going to copy all of these here, use that for the password, paste, and just copy the password, paste that in there. There should be a semicolon here. Paste the password there, close that up, plus password, and grab this again, and that will be for the database there. And here, let me get hold of the database, grab that and paste that here. Database, remember the equal sign though, else there might be a problem. So that is bill 6. Okay, enter semicolon. Equal sign is missing here and here as well. Yeah. Oh, look at this. That is wrong. That should be bill. Bill 6. Oh, that should actually be equals to the database, not the bill 6. Copy the database and put that in here. Database here and database here as well. There we go. Right. Okay, maybe I should just click in here and press enter and bring it, let it start on the new line so that you guys can see it all. Okay, so that is fine. Now the next thing we want to do is I'm now going to connect this. Let's open it up. SQL connect, we want it open, open, enter parenthesis, and we then want the command SQL dot connection, where is it, connection equals SQL con, and the SQL command here, let's say SQL command, this very one, dot command text. The command text will be equals, let's use SQL magic in here. SQL select from, where are we selecting from? It's going to be selecting from bill 6. So I'm going to call my table bill 6 as well, and the database will be called that as well. So let's just paste that in there. Though the database doesn't exist for now. Now let's get it to read before it can read, we need as follows: SQL, no, in lowercase, SQL read equals SQL command dot execute reader. Okay, we have that in place. Dot execute reader. And what about the data? SQL dt dot load the reader. SQL reader. That's taken care of. What else do we need? We now need to close the reader. So SQL reader, once we're ready, let's close it. Dot close parenthesis. And we also have to close the connector here. Dot close. Paste that there. Okay, that is fine. Now one more thing is, you see this DataGrigView here. Okay, there's no name for it. I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to connect it right underneath here, so whatever data we have in there will be stored inside the DataGrigView. So let's say DataGrigView dot data source, that will be equals SQL dt. There we go. Okay, so my private function is created for that, but I don't have a database in place. I can't see any error, so even if I run it, though, nothing will happen because it's not connected to anything yet. So let's just run it and make sure there is no error. As you can see, there's no error in place, so everything is fine. Before I start calling it reset. Right. Okay, now the next thing is, you see this private function. I'm going to copy it, and let's double click on the form itself and just paste that in there, so that when the form load, that will load up. Okay, but for now it will give me an error if I run the program. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Run. Why is that? That is because the database is not ready yet. I haven't created the database. Check this out. You see that? It's telling me where's the database to be opened. So let's end that. So I'm going to copy the name of my database. That's the name of my database. Copy that. And let's open up my SQL right there. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to the schema. That's the schema there. Click on that, and that is now asking me what name would you like to call your database. That's it. Bill says. So I'm going to ask you to apply there. So Bill says is now created. Click on apply. There we go. Click on finish. Now let's look for Bill says. That is it right there. If I drop down this arrow now, there's a table in there. Right click on that very table, click on create table there, and name the table as Bill says as well. Okay, I'm going to create the first item in here, so that is going to be known as let's just say item. I'm just going to enter milk in there. Milk. Okay, now I'm not going to enter any primary key or anything. Then the next one is going to be coffee. here. I'm going to make that espresso. And the next one, first of all, let's get rid of this. The next one here is going to be, let's say, a latte, and followed by bread, beans, there. Okay, now I want to also include the cost of each of them, so I'm going to go for, first of all, let's come in here. You see this one, I'm going to change that to virtual and just enter maybe about 20 in there, whatever. Okay, now here underneath here, I'm going to enter milk cost. And coffee cost. Then espresso cost. Latte cost. Bread cost. Beans cost. There we go. So that will be all. I'm not going to bother enter the total price and so on, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So let's see, it should be 12 in total. Okay, that's good enough. So I'm going to click on apply. There we go. Alright, so click on apply, and there we go, my table is ready. So I can now just minimize this, and let's come right here. So if I click on run, the previous error that you guys saw shouldn't appear anymore. Look at that. So there's no more error because we now have a database that the form can address. Alright, so that is fine. So what we then need to do is, whatever we enter in here, we want to be able to click on total, and that will populate the database. And I also want that to populate this DataGrigView in here. Let's see. There, I like it populated. Look at that. It's already populated. These, I have all my stuff in there, so I think there's some missing. Okay, we need to do something about this. Maybe reduce this or delete it. Okay, let's come back in here. As you can see, the database is working. Okay, that's the table that's the DataGrigView. Right, let's come right in here and just reduce this. If it doesn't work the way we want, then we might as well just delete it. Let's see if I don't have enough room. So I'm going to run it one more time. Run. And let's see how that's going to work. Else I may have to delete this. Let's see. It's coming up. Now go in here. Okay, I still need a bit of more room, so I'm going to get rid of this. So let's get rid of the rich text box. So right here, get rid of that. There we go. average text box gone, and let's run it one more time. Click on run. Okay, let's check that out now. Alright, so we now have enough room to display our data. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is to go straight in here. You see this very one, and this one, and print. Okay, we can print directly from here. Alright, let's just end it and get hold of the total button. Come right down here, double click on total, or maybe I should just use this to add the data. Receipt, yeah, inside the receipt can do all the data updating, so double click on the receipt. Okay, that's where I'm going to add my data, so that will be receipt and add. So we can just put add in there. The choice is yours, guys. Maybe add. No, just get rid of that. Okay, the receipt we generate, we add all the information in here, all the data in here straight onto the DataGrigView. So double click on the receipt. Okay, we will start by, first of all, we need to get hold of all of the data that we have inside my upload data. So let's scroll right up there and just going to get hold of right here. There we go. Grab all of these and up to open database. Let's grab hold of that copy. Instead of reinventing the wheel, come right down here. Where is it? Right here inside the receipt. Paste that in there. And maybe I should use try cache. Yeah, why not? Let's use a try cache. I'm going to grab hold of this to be on the safe side. And here, or maybe right underneath here, we can use a try cache. Try as follows. Bring this in here and paste my cache statement underneath there. That is one taken care of. The next thing I want to do now is I'm now going to call MySQL query. That is why I've been having this error, because MySQL query hasn't been used. So one inside, not error. So MySQL query equals insert into bill says. Insert into bill says. Dot bill says is called. The following. So the first one is going to be the, I think that's called milk. Let's check it out. It's called milk. Yeah. Alright, so in here I'm going to enter milk. That's the first one, comma, coffee, comma, espresso, comma, latte, bread, beans. There. And all of those. Okay, let's enter the rest data. Might as well copy this because they're very similar. So come right down here, close that, plus, there we go, and they all have cost, I believe. let's see here, cost, and with cost there, right, copy and paste it around. So those are the fields from the database. I will now close up the database here, and there's a plus. We now have value in here, so the values are going to be from, let's say, values. Those are going to come directly from the up and down numbers. So the very first one is going to be NU, that's milk, I believe, yeah, dot value, that is the very first one, plus the next one, there should be a comma here. The next one is going to be, let's add another plus here, this can be confusing, NU the coffee dot value. So grab all of these, right, dot value, that's good, and NUD, that's going to be espresso E, there we go, dot value, paste. Alright, so press enter and let's see, let's move this here so that you guys can see that. Okay, so next one here is going to, that was espresso, so the next one is going to be NUD latte dot value, NUD bread, okay, and NUD beans dot value. Well, let's just paste that. Okay, so the next one is going to be LBL milk dot text. Now copy all of this. As for milk dot text, paste that here. And I'm going to copy all of these. Then the next one is going to be LBL cafe dot text. Then we have LBL espresso dot text and LBL latte dot text. LBL that's going to be bread here, paste, and finally LBL beans the text, and we're going to run that up. So get rid of this semicolon, and in here we're going to enter bracket, there we go, and that is all there is to that. Okay, I'm going to kind of like maybe rearrange this so that you guys can see the lines of codes. All of these are kind of like cut off there. Okay, So let's do that. Bring this down here. Alright, let's see. I'll move this up. Okay, I'm going to just rearrange it and get back to you guys. Okay, now to finish up with the SQL connections, I'm going to say SQL command, and that will be equals new MySQL command, and just enter parentheses with the query SQL query. Would be my argument and SQL connectors. There we go. Now let's get the system to read it out for us. So say SQL read, that is equals SQL command dot execute reader, enter parentheses. Now let's close the connection here, SQL connection. We close that underneath here, dot close. There, that is fine. And let's come right down here, enter parentheses there. Let's come right down here. I'm just gonna say finally as well. Let's say finally. Close the whole table for me and update the system. Paste that here and underneath here say update, upload data. Yeah, upload data. That is my function that I need to call. And there, I think that is all to that. So have a look at it. I'm going to try it out now. So let's click on run. There. Okay, no error so far, so I'm going to enter some data in there and make that about 3 or 4, whatever, and then so click on total and let's see decision time. Okay, unknown column here, look at that, espresso cost. Let's see what's the column called. Oh, this, look at that. Oh no, sun, get rid of that. Apply. Yeah. Okay then. That's very good. The system identified that. Okay, so I'm going to try it again and let's see. Oh, look at that. Guys, it's working. My database is working. I'm very pleased with that. Let's clear, reset, and enter more data. Yeah. And click on total, reset. Let's view it. Look at that. You see that, guys? That is working fine. All we then need to do now is just to be able to print out. Everything is working the way we want. To take care of the print, I'm going to come here to the toolbox and I'm going to double click on this print. That should be print dialog, and no, print document and print preview dialog, just those two. I want to get rid of this, I don't need that. Now let's select this print preview and go to the properties of the print preview here, and the document that I want, I'm going to select print document 1 there, and inside its print I'm going to double click on print button, and right above it here I'm going to just enter, let's say, bitmap, and I'm going to just call that bitmap. There we go. And right inside the button itself I will then enter as follows. So let's speed that up. There, those are the lines of code that will take care of the printing for us. Okay, have a good look at that. Or we can just, let's move this down, and maybe move this down as well so that you guys can see it. There, those lines of code should take care of the printing. Now the next thing is, I'm now going to come in here, and then we double click on the print document here, that very object, and just enter e.graphics dot draw, that will draw image, draw image, and the image is going to be from this bitmap that was declared up there, comma, let it be in the following coordinate, enter semicolon there, that is it, all taken care of. These are the lines of code that is inside the print button, and this is on the print document itself. Okay, so decision time, let's run this now. Run, and let's see how that's going to look like. There we go, guys. So I'm going to enter some value in here. And click on total, reset, let's check out in there, that is right there now, and let's print it out. Click on print. There we go, look at that. There, guys, and it's working as we want. There, look at that, that's beautiful. So all you just need to do is to hit on this print button. I don't have printer on my system. There, guys, so with that I'm going to call it the end of this very advanced tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and please do remember to subscribe onto my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. You all have a nice day now, and bye for now.